Let's talk about the best practices for the responsible use of peer-to-peer technology for game delivery. What's that you say? You've never heard of peer-to-peer technology? Well, peer-to-peer, or P2P for those in the know, is powerful technology that helps you download your game files more quickly and helps game publishers save money. But how in the world can P2P benefit publishers and gamers simultaneously? It's easier than you think. P2P can vastly improve and optimize online game delivery, but it must be used fairly and in good conscience, lest its power go to our heads. For many people, P2P still lives in the shadow of ancient, nefarious file-sharing programs. But it's important to remember that P2P technology is separate from its implementation. We want P2P to gain acceptance as a safe, valid option for file delivery, so let's examine our best practices for video game delivery. It all boils down to this: transparency, control, and privacy. Simple, right? Transparency makes perfect sense, doesn't it? We don't want to pull the wool over gamers' eyes. We want them to trust us, and the obvious way to encourage trust is to make things clear and understandable. Make sure gamers know what they're getting into. Is P2P being used? How is it being used? Can they control how it's being used? Is it safe? Is it private? It doesn't take rocket science to put a gamer at ease with using P2P. It could be as simple as providing an option to enable or disable P2P right away, before an installation even begins. Naturally, you could also include control options in your download client, ones that are easy to find and use. Just keep your operations as transparent as cellophane, and everyone stays happy. Now, about control. A P2P network makes demands on user systems, both in bandwidth and in processing, so it's only fair that they're afforded a measure of control. That can mean adding a pause and resume function to your downloader. It could also mean ensuring that gamers have the ability to terminate all network activity, easily and intuitively, whenever they want, without having to hop through a horde of hula hoops. There should also be a simple way to remove the P2P technology completely, leaving no files behind, especially ones that can't be removed by normal means and that reappear after a system reboot. It's what we in the industry like to call fairness. Are we treating users fairly? Is our P2P solution speeding up file download times for our users? Let's hope the answer is yes. But it's also fair to ask, what's in it for us? Naturally, P2P can help to reduce your costs. Users' systems join a private P2P network where they share the load of data delivery. And more gamers in the network means less data that needs to be served from a CDN, which means cost savings. But what happens once gamers are done downloading files for the game? Is it fair to continue to utilize gamers' systems to deliver files for days, even weeks after their download has completed? Sure, this could save you even more money, but the end result for a gamer can be degraded system performance. Even worse, for gamers that have metered broadband, the additional bandwidth charges could be astronomical. And doing something like this without a user's knowledge, well, that's downright underhanded. Privacy is essential. The rule is, unless a user actively allows it, a P2P network should never be able to access user-originated files and information. An IP address is all a P2P network needs to know. These P2P best practices should be second nature to you, especially if you're already using P2P technology to deliver your games. Responsible use of P2P is important to the future of P2P technology and to the gaming industry as a whole. You do want to generate and maintain trust and loyalty from gamers, don't you? Just observe the best practices for the responsible use of peer-to-peer technology for game delivery. It's the right thing to do.
Got the message?